This is Xavier Sosu. He'll be joining me in a bit. But the reason is I'll be talking about the private members bill. He's a man who sent that bill to Parliament, the anti-witchcraft bill, which went to the doors of the presidency and has since returned to the doors of Parliament. The president says he will not sign it. I'll ask him what the status of that particular bill is. And also today, we've just seen an announcement that he has also brought a new bill. Now, that bill is seeking to ensure Muslims have 2 holidays, or Ghanaians have 2 holidays when Muslims are celebrating the Eid al-Fitr and the Eid al-Adha. It's my personal advocacy. I'm excited about that. But I'll be asking him the questions that ought to be asked for him to explain. He also has this proposal where he's saying that should a holiday fall on a Saturday, let's not celebrate or mark it on Monday. Essentially, for instance, in January, there's going to be a holiday on the 7th of January, which is a Constitution Day, to be on the weekend. Typically, what happens is that the holiday will be observed on the Monday. He's saying that that is a pointless thing. He also suggests that holidays be moved to the Fridays, so that a holiday does not fall on a Monday or on a Tuesday or on a Wednesday. It would be taken to a Friday. So if a holiday falls on a weekend, it is observed on the weekend. And if it is in a midweek, it is pushed to Friday. The question people were asking is that would that not make our holidays one too many and lower productivity? So those are the questions that I'll be putting to him. But the most recent one would be the one where he's asking for the Muslims to be, not only Muslims, but all Ghanaians to be allowed to have 2 holidays on the Eid al-Adha and Eid al-Fitr, the 2 big celebrations or festivals of the Muslim population. Honorable Medina Member of Parliament Francis Xavier Sosu, a member of the 2 No Pre-Second Association. You're welcome.
Yeah, thank you.
How are you?
You know, I'm an honorary member, right?
Oh, you are annoying us.
My juicer mate and
you are annoying us. You are annoying what?
Presec is in my constituency, so it's proud to have Presec in your constituency, particularly when we are like 8 times champions and we're doing so.
Are you
well.
done? Are you done?
We
can move on.
We can go ahead.
How are you doing, boss?
Yeah, by God's grace, I'm doing well, and I hope you are doing well.
And well, I should also say that you are one of the skinniest members of Parliament. You've been in Parliament for, this is your how many years? 4?
I think 2.5 years.
And you still haven't grown fat. We are not getting largesse or because you're an opposition MP.
When you're working from opposition, it's not easy.
The system hard.
Charlie,
but I'm not sure you are not destined to have pot belly. You're like Bernard. People are like that now. Anyway,
someday we'll ferry.
No, nothing. People, even if they pump you with bicycle pump, nothing will happen. Anyway, your bro, how are you?
Yeah, by God's grace.
Everything good?
Yeah, we're doing very well. It's
good to see you. How is Medina?
Medina is doing well, alhamdulillah. Everything is going well. We have our own challenges and all that, but by and large, I think that we are doing quite well, and we are moving in the right direction. I think this week we did. We were doing our water for all project, which was one of the ways, our educational intervention to provide potable water for all basic schools, the 54 basic schools. And we've done 10 so far, still working on them. So gradually.
Just by way of update, your policeman that was taken from you sometimes, has he been given back to you?
Yes, please.
So he's back. You have security now.
He's back.
Okay,
yes.
That's fine. Let's talk about the things you've been up to. Before we talk about the holidays for the Muslims, let's talk about the anti-witchcraft bill. You brought that to Parliament.
That is correct.
So this is you are using the avenue of the private members bill. That is where the state does not bring the bill to make it a law, but a member of Parliament would then propose it. That's what happens, right?
That is correct.
How has that thing been? Is this the first time we are experimenting with it?
Well, no. It was introduced in the 7th Parliament.
So Okwe's tenure.
Yeah. In fact, his ruling was what gave private members opportunity to file private members bills, because until him, the position had been that based on Article 108, almost every bill we introduce by all means will require paper of public, so it would have some financial implication. So technically, we had a wrong understanding of that Article 108, but he ruled that private members could bring bills, and that was not wrong. And so the first bill that was brought was by Honorable Ras Mubarak, and it had to do with amendment to the traffic, Ghana traffic, or I think traffic regulations or something.
Okay.
Yeah, if my memory serves me right.
Okay.
And so what we're doing now basically is we are the second generation. Ras began.
So Ras began it for you and then opened the floodgate. And you have been doing a number, 16, as many as 16 private members bill.
Yeah.
Within how many years in Parliament?
Well, that's 2.5 years or almost approximately.
So the criminal offences bill, you sponsored that. That's the one that is called the anti-witchcraft.
No, we have two criminal offences bill. One of them was death penalty.
So this is a death penalty.
That one, the president has already signed that one.
That's a right to life.
Yeah, right to life. That
was 2022.
Yes.
Then Armed Forces Amendment Bill. What did you want the soldiers to do?
That was also, the soldiers also had provisions on death penalty. Mm-hmm. And so we removed them. It's also passed, except that was the one that the president is yet to sign.
That's the one he's yet to sign. Yes. Then you have Criminal Offences Amendment Bill. That's the witchcraft one.
That is correct.
So that one is not been done.
Yes.
We'll come to that. Compensation Bill. What's that about?
Well, that's about persons who are wrongfully arrested and wrongfully detained.
Okay, they should be compensated
by the state, because we have penalty unit for people who have offended the state.
Okay.
So there might be some compensation unit for persons that the state have violated.
And that's pending, right?
Yes, that's pending.
Then provision of minimum employment of persons with disabilities.
Yeah. So the idea is to introduce a regime where there'll be both public and private organizations can employ at least minimum of 5% of persons with disability. If we do that, when we look at the proposal and look at the total number of persons with disability we have in Ghana, we shouldn't have any person with disability who is willing and able or who wants to work.
Who is not employed.
Who is not employed.
So that's also pending.
Yeah, it solves that problem of like what we had, like the minister closure of the toll booth and all that. It resolves that matter.
Amendment of National Health Insurance Act. Amendment of, so the NHI, you have 3.
Yeah, we have 3.
Then Legal Profession Amendment Bill.
Yes.
Climate Change Bill. Then we have... which one is this?
Tax on VAT.
To remove the 15% VAT on menstrual hygiene and products, a bill to reduce the 20% import duty and customs excise. Then a bill to amend Section 57 of the Labour Act that talks about what? Extend maternity leave. So from 12 weeks to 16 weeks. Okay. And provide for related... Are you also asking for fathers to also get some?
Yes. Paternity leave in that one also.
And then a bill to amend Section 54 of the Labour Act. That's paternity leave. Then a bill to amend the Public Holidays Act, which is the latest one. And then a bill to amend the public... So 2 holidays.
Yeah, 2 holidays.
Okay. Talk to me about this, your plan. First of all, the Eid al-Adha and the Eid al-Fitr one, before we talk about the weekend holidays.
Well,
what's this idea coming from? I may have influenced you. I'm happy I did, or I have not, because I have been a long advocate for this. Yeah. But I'm sure you've had consultations with people who have given you this idea.
That is correct. I think that one of the people I have followed who have made a lot of argument on this is yourself, and you have, and I think a number of times we've had conversation on this and looking at the possibility of making this happen. And when I was going around in Medina also, Medina has a very dominant, or at least a very substantial Islamic population. So when I came, as one of the ways of reaching out to the Islamic community, I began a project called the Islam Project. So the Islam Project was devising creative ways of representing the interests of persons of Islamic faith. So we had like the Makaranta improvement, and we did the Makaranta harmonization project, where we have a common curriculum for all Makarantas. We are still developing it. Okay. And then we have our special Eid al-Fitr. We have like the Salah Fest. We have the Ramadan outreaches and all that. And one of the creative ways I sought to represent the people of Medina was to introduce this bill. And so before I began, one of the very senior sheikhs, who is very learned in Medina Zongo, is Sheikh Salman, who has actually, who guided the process, provided like even research support to the process for me to be able to come together with a memo which we could submit to Parliament. Of course, there are several interest groups. There are Muslim MPs around that have consulted to have a look at the proposal, and people have actually endorsed the position and believe that it is the way to go.
So what are you proposing? What's in this your bill?
So the proposal is to introduce 2 new holidays. One is called a Tashriq holiday. The Tashriq holiday is a day after the Eid Adha festival.
Okay.
And so if I want to look at when you reach the Holy Quran, the maximum number of days required for such holidays would be 3, naturally. So in some, of course, Islamic states, some have as much as 16 days, 6 days. But Ghana is a secular state, we know. So to meet the Islamic community halfway, we introduced the Tashriq holiday, which is the day after the Eid Adha, so that if, depending on what you want to do, some may pray the first day and slaughter the second day. Some may slaughter, pray and slaughter the first day and take the second day as maybe a rest day before they go back to
or
work.
a sharing or distribution of midday.
Distribution of the midday. And then the Shak holiday is a day before the Eid al-Fitr. And you know that because the Eid al-Fitr is a religious practice, and sometimes it depends on the position or the sighting of the new moon. And sometimes the calculation is such that even in Ghana as a practice, you see people celebrating Eid one day and the following day another set is celebrated. So to cure that, you create a regime where you have 2 holidays. A day before the Eid al-Fitr is known as a Shak day, and so in Arabic, so you have the Shak holiday, which goes with the Eid al-Fitr. So if this amendment carries, it means that Muslims generally in Ghana, and more specifically in my constituency, Medina, have the opportunity to celebrate those 2 days or have holidays for those 2 days. And you also know that the Eid al-Fitr actually comes after a very long
30-day
religious requirement. And this, both children, unless you fall within the exceptional or the exceptions, everybody is supposed to fast. And you can imagine young people in school who fast for these days and have to immediately after Eid go back to school. So these 2 days give them the space to actually rest. And of course, not only them, then every Ghanaian also, if you are a holiday or you want to use your holiday for any other thing, you get a chance to use it anyway. And so this is the whole idea around it. The whole thing also is to promote religious diversity, inclusiveness, and also, I think that these are the ideas behind this.
I see. Have you consulted with the Office of National Chief Imam on this proposal?
Well, I have consulted with that office, and I think that the sense I get is that this position is endorsed, and not only that office, but I've been dealing with a number of Islamic both sheikhs and Islamic leaders around who I have spoken to with this matter. In fact, if you look at even the use of the word Tashriq holiday and then the Shak holidays, these were research that was done by Islamic sheikhs who guided the process. Yes.
What do you say to people who say, well, this is not a Muslim country, it's not a Christian country, so why are you working on getting a holiday for Muslims?
Well, I think
when they already have one, Rawlings gave it to them. Why are you adding more?
Well, I think that, let's be honest to ourselves. The 2 dominant religions in Ghana is Islamic religion and Christian religion. Already, I think Christians have a number of days. Of course, we have the New Year Day, which everybody also celebrates. We have the Good Friday, which everybody celebrates. We have the Easter Monday, which everybody still celebrates. Of course, then we have the Christmas Day and then the Boxing Day, right? And so to have these 4 days, which are just religious requirement, I don't think that should be too much of a problem. For me, you want to create a society. Ghana is neither a Christian country nor a Muslim country. It's a secular country. And for every secular country to survive, you must have equal respect for every grouping, no matter how many of them exist. And these are people you may call minority rights. And so the only time you have issues of conflict and disturbances is when people who feel they are in a minority and they feel marginalized or they feel they are not being brought into the mainstream of society. So what this does, because I'm a Christian, and of course, and I preach. And so if I am in Medina and I have the chance to be the leader or a member of parliament in Medina and I'm dealing with all these interest groups, I should be able to reassure my base that, look, I'm there for you. And things that champions your interests, I'm willing to do that. And so in my view, I think that is the best way to rather promote inclusiveness, religious diversity, and get everybody in and let everybody know that everybody matters. Christians matter, Muslims matter, everyone in Ghana matters. Yeah.
What about the other leg of the debate that says, hold on a minute, we have so many holidays already, unproductive days, that is, and then you are now asking for 2 more to be added to the days that we already have? How would you respond to that?
Well, my response to that is the reason for the other bill. In fact, there are two bills that are addressing that are seeking to amend the Holidays Act. Now, the other one is what I even call the productivity and efficiency in holidays, and that one it seeks to amend the holidays. The current Holidays Act gives the president the power to change holidays that fall on weekdays to to Monday.
Weekends.
On weekends to Monday. Now, if this amendment carries, it means that power is stripped off. So if your holiday falls on Saturday, you mark it. If your constitutional day falls on Saturday, we mark it. If it falls on Sunday, you mark it. That way, you don't affect the days that are working days that people will have to go to work.
So if the holiday is on Saturday, you don't push it to Monday.
You don't push it to Monday. If it's on Sunday, you don't push it to Monday. And in fact, let's be really frank again. As a people, we are growing. We are growing our democracy. Why do we move holidays from weekends? And what do we really achieve with that? Beyond
because we want to know that we didn't go to work for this holiday.
Because the commemorative days and these holidays are supposed to. In other jurisdictions, what they do is that if the government has to issue a statement to mark the day, it is done. If there must be small ceremony at the presidency or at some local assembly, we do it. But we don't move it to a working day when business must go on.
The idea of a holiday is that no school, no work. And if it fell on a Sunday, already we don't have. So we push it to Monday, let's celebrate it.
I think that is the natural thing to think. But I think that if we really want to improve productivity and we want to work more, now we are all trying to work hard to build Ghana. His Excellency John Dramani Mahama has said, talk about 24-hour economy, and we are hoping that the reason is that we want to improve productivity. We want many more time or many more hours hands-on work, And so for me, that is the essence of this proposal, so that we have more working hours, for all of us as a people, so we can improve productivity. We can improve our gross domestic product at the end of the year. And also, that amendment is not only affecting weekends, but also holidays that fall on what we call the productive days.
Okay.
When you research into between Monday and Friday,
work culture,
there are days that are called productive days. Sometimes you see people come to work on Monday and then Tuesday is a holiday. Then they have to go to beach. They have hangovers,
drink some glasses,
then they will come back on Wednesday and they wake up. So it all affects productivities. And some people, you come to work, or maybe there is a long holiday, you go and it falls on Saturday, it's brought on Monday, then you enjoy your Monday. Tuesday you come to work, then Wednesday there's another holiday. Then it kind of affects the long-term effect is that your people don't become as productive as they should be. And that is why you move all holidays that fall within those productive days, that's Tuesdays and Thursdays, you move them to Friday. In fact, that is a practice that is known as bank holidays. In other jurisdictions, that's how they call them, because it originated as something, a practice in the banks, where when holidays fall within productive days and you are a banking institution, you move them to what they call the non-productive days. Then eventually became practices for nations. And so we are simply calling it efficiency and productivity, holiday bill. That's how we're trying to how do you call it, to shorten
it? So are you saying that if a holiday falls on Monday, we should not observe it, or we should?
We will observe it
if it's a Monday.
Yes,
but if
because it is coming after
a weekend.
Yeah, weekend.
Okay, but if it is Tuesday
all the way to
Wednesday,
Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, you push it to Friday.
Okay, that is your thinking. That's your proposal.
Yes.
Okay, someone has sent me a message saying that I should remind you. Let me just read it. It's Edlina who sent that message. Just find it in a bit. It says that, yes, it said, please tell him that weekend is already a holiday. So your plan to push another holiday into a holiday will not work.
Unfortunately, when you read the Holidays Act of Ghana, the current Holiday Act of Ghana, which is Act 626,
Saturday and Sunday is not part.
The current Holidays Act, actually the most current one, which is the Public Holidays Amendment Act 2019, Act 986. Saturdays and
Saturday
Sundays.
and
are
Sunday.
not- are not
So
holidays by
so your
our laws,
proposals
yeah.
are two.
Yes.
A bill to amend the current Public Holidays Act by Francis Xavier Sosu to extend the period of public holidays for Muslims to 2 days, from the current 1 day to 2 days. So for the two major celebrations, there should be 2 days each.
That is correct.
Your second proposal for an amendment of the bill on the Public Holidays Act is to remove the power of the president to declare additional public holidays that fall on weekend into Monday.
That is correct.
And that if a holiday falls on Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, we should not mark it then, push it to Friday so that it will form part of the weekend.
Absolutely.
This is your proposal.
That is a proposal.
How popular is this with your colleagues in Parliament?
Well, I think that I have run it by a number of members, my colleagues, who are really happy about the proposal. And a number have already reached out and said that before the bill is gazetted, they are willing to be part of.
What's the next step of this? So has this been accepted?
Yes, it's been sent to usually when you do a bill, you send it to the Clerk of Parliament,
Okay.
and this has gone since way back since the 29th of November.
Okay, so it will be tabled.
It's been tabled. It's been referred to drafting. So drafting department, usually they will conduct their own independent investigation, and then they will bring their. Even though we have a draft, they will bring their draft. It's just like all the other bills. For example, like the tax on part, for example, they just finished the final draft.
The issue of the fact that if it will cost us money, it should not be allowed to pass. Won't declaring a day a holiday cost us money? How would you maneuver your way out of that constitutional quagmire?
Not necessarily. If you look at, that's why you have to have like a holistic view of what we're doing.
So put it together,
Yeah, when you
not
put it-
one thing.
Exactly.
Don't just say that Muslims are getting two more holidays,
exactly.
but rather say that some of the holidays that will be in the weekday
Weekdays
will be
is
pushed to
moving,
the weekend.
So it's when you balance it, you
Productivity
see that
would be-
productivity-wise, we are good.
Finally.
and that does not affect Article 108.
I'm very happy. I'll come in. Do I have to write a petition to support you, or I should come and do?
You can send a memo.
Or
It's
I
fine.
should.
You can do.
Okay, you can bring memo, or support you with Momo, so that you can print the paper.
You know the right thing.
We'll do Fisabilillah in Juma for you. But on the anti-witchcraft bill, and we have just 30 seconds to go, the president has returned it to the House. Is that what has happened? What happens next?
So when the president returns it, under the law, Article 106, he's supposed to, within 14 days, tell us the specific reasons and the specific provision that he has problems with. We are hoping that it will come so that we can reconsider the bill in the light of his proposals. But if that doesn't happen, in fact, I hope that he didn't get it right when he referred to Article 108, because 108 referred to parliamentary procedure as to how to admit some of these bills. It doesn't apply to the executive at all. So I'm hoping that even within these 14 days, he will reconsider his decision to sign the bills into law.
So he hasn't said anything yet. He hasn't brought a formal written notice to you.
Not yet. Within the 14 days, he hasn't brought that explanation yet.
Very well. Thank you so much. I beg your pardon. Thank you so much for joining us for Point Blank, and we wish you all the best. And I personally am supporting you in this campaign. I'll do a few more Fisabilillah and then we'll come and join.
In fact, it's very, very important. Thank you very much, and may Almighty Allah bless us all.
Amin, Amin. That's Honorable Francis Xavier Sosu. Are you a junior pastor?
An associate pastor.
Associate pastor. Which church?
Living Streams Church of Christ. Yeah.
Okay, and he's a member of parliament for Medina. Someone said I should add Lanquantana to your constituency, but I don't think it's correct.
The Lanquantana is part of the municipality.
That's the
name
district
of
name.
Yeah.
Okay, but
Medina,
the constituency.
Lanquantana, Medina. Yeah.
Okay, thank you so much. So, member of parliament for It used to be Abokobi Medina. Now it's just Medina.
That's correct.
Okay, that's member of parliament for Medina. He was my guest on Point Blank. My name is Umaru Sandamado. Thank you for joining us on Eyewitness News tonight.